Hello and welcome to a video where a pretentious small YouTuber tries to decide the best coaster in Europe even though he's only ridden 3 of the ones in the video outside of his own country using a spreadsheet. So yeah, here I am on a video that I've spent quite a lot of time preparing for. By quite a lot of time, I mean like 20 minutes making some stupid spreadsheets. And basically what I've done is I've created 3 rounds of a thing to help me decide what's the best coaster in Europe. And that's what this video is about. So without going on any more, even though to be fair that was actually pretty short for an intro ramble. But yeah, this is how it's going to work. So the first round I've picked up to 3 coasters from all the countries in Europe where they have a coaster you could consider a competitor for the best coaster in Europe. Those countries being Belgium, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Poland, Spain, Sweden, Turkey and the UK. So I've selected 3 at most from each of those countries, some of them less because I don't think there's any worth considering. From there I can get rid of the coasters in those countries that don't live up to the standards of the others or select one of the best from the country. In the second round, to help me get rid of some more, I've divided the coasters of the same model into their own little lists so that I can decide what the best coaster of those models are, because I think that's a fair comparison to get rid of some more. And then in the final round we end up with 5 coasters left that have survived the previous 2, in which I'm going to debate and talk about with reason to find out which one is the best. So let's get into it. First country is Belgium. Now, Belgium, in comparison to the other countries, Belgium isn't really one of the best on this list. But I just wanted to put special mentions in for the 2 coasters in Belgium opening next year, the Walibi Belgium Mega Coaster, which could very easily be the best coaster in Europe. It's got one of the best layouts I've ever seen and apparently has the most airtime moments on a steel coaster. There's also the Mack Extreme Spinning Coaster coming to Plopsaland de Pan, which is apparently called Time Traveller, which is also a very good coaster coming to that country next year. What's the best coaster in the country at the moment? Probably Fury. That's what I've picked, but because the other 2 aren't open yet, I'm going to have to get rid of them and say that Fury is the best coaster in Belgium. Next up is Finland. Finland, I have 3 coasters again. Taiga, the absolutely amazing Intamin Blitz coaster that opened last year. Good for a similar reason as the Walibi Belgium It's good for similar reasons as the Walibi Belgium Mega Coaster. It's got great pacing, lots of airtime, hang time, all mixed together in a really good way to create just a beautiful coaster. Finland also has Junker and what is Pit's special. These are 2 Goudruix Infinity coasters open at the same park. I think it's called Powerland, but I'm not sure. They're Goudruix coasters with all these new off-axis RMC style elements that we've begun to get used to. Although they are really good, Taiga is better than them because Taiga is such an amazing coaster. For the best coaster in France, we've got Goudruix. Okay, that wasn't funny, but this horrible, I don't know how you pronounce it, Goudruix, I don't know, it's world renowned for being one of the worst coasters on the planet. What have we learnt from this? I'm not funny. So then in France it's between Orziris and Zeuz. One's an intense B&M invert, it's a good B&M invert, there's nothing much more I need to say about that. The other is a CGI Woody. Woody roller coaster called Taron de Zeuz. I just call it Zeus. At these, B&M invert probably is better. Zeus does look very good for a CCI though, although I think Orziris is gonna take it. Now, Germany. Germany has a lot of good coasters, and the ones I've picked for this are Expedition GeForce Intamin Mega Coaster that opened a while ago with T-bars. It's got some just insane sustained eject hills. The Schwerder's Karnan Goudruix Infinity Coaster that opened in 2015. It's really big, it's got really cool layout, and it's very fast. And Taron in-spin blitz coaster with loads of speed, intensity, whippy transitions, and it interacts with the rock work like nothing else. All these coasters are so good, and all of them are the same model as lots of other coasters on this list, so I'm going to put them all through to the next round, and then some of them will get knocked out when they go up against coasters of the same model. In Italy, we have iSpeed in-spin blitz coaster, again very intense, quite a lot like Maverick but shorter and not as good. Katun, another very intense B&M invert, and Oblivion the black hole B&M dive coaster. Oblivion the black hole just isn't, it's definitely not the best out of them. I just put it there because it's probably the third best in the country, so that's going. Katun is a very good B&M invert, but iSpeed is just a lot better because it's an in-spin blitz. Now in the Netherlands we have Untamed, Troy and Goliath. And now I've ridden all these three, they're all very good, all have lots of airtime, but it's quite simply the fact that Untamed is an amazing RMC, and Troy and Goliath, although very good, they just can't live up to the standard of Untamed, because Untamed, it's an RMC. Poland, interesting country for coasters, very good. All of their best coasters have opened recently. Now we have Zadra, the absolutely huge RMC, Hyperion, another huge coaster, bigger than Zadra, and Lech coaster, which is probably the best coaster Vekoma have ever built. Hyperion and Lech coaster are both elite coasters, but again, Zadra wins because it is a huge RMC. Now we're heading over to Spain with Shambhala and Red Force, both again huge coasters. Red Force is very tall and very fast, but also very short, and Shambhala just has endless floater airtime. Shambhala's going to win because it is a lot longer and it's got a lot more to the ride. Now over to Sweden, where we've got Helix, Wildfire and Balder. Balder is an amazing in-spin prefab, but I do think Wildfire and Helix one-up it. Wildfire probably is slightly better than Helix, but because they are both models where they can compete with other coasters of the same model in the next round, I'm going to put them both through. Now in Turkey, I thought Hypercoaster, Big Mac Hypercoaster was worth a mention, because it's a very... I don't know why. I'm getting rid of it. It's just, yeah. And now we head over to the UK with Icon, Nemesis and the Smiler. Now, for the sake of this video, I can't choose one of these to go through to the next round. I don't think they're quite on the standards of lots of the ones from the other countries, but they're all very equal. The Smiler, as you can see, opened in 2103, so you know it's very futuristic, very good technology. But yeah, I'm going to send all these three through to the next round, and they can compete with other coasters of the same type. Now on to the next round, where we're going to choose the best of each type. Got Fury from Belgium, Taiga from Finland, Orziris from France, Expedition GeForce, Karnan and Taron from Germany, Speed from Italy. Can I really be bothered reading rest out? No. But anyway, they're all here. We've split them, I've split them into a few different categories: Gerslow Infinities, Intamin Blitz, B&M Inverts, RMCs, Mac Multi-Launches and other. So Gerslow Infinities, Smiler, Fury and Karnan. Fury is small and quite quirky, but on an international scale, it's not that good. The Smiler has lots of great inversions and is a really fun ride, but it just can't live up to Karnan, so that will be going through. In-spin Blitz coasters. Now, this is an interesting category because these coasters are all very good. I think the easiest one to get rid of here immediately is iSpeed. iSpeed definitely stands out as a coaster in Europe. It's very intense, it's very fast paced, but Taiga and Taron, the new gen in-spin blitz coasters, are better. Now picking between Taron and Taiga is very hard, because although they're the same model, they are quite different. Taron focuses on pretty much purely intensity, fast paced turns and diving through all the rock work and theming, while Taiga focuses on a perfect blend of airtime, hang time, intensity and whippy transitions. So they are very different. That's why I think it's very hard to choose, but for me, Taiga is going to win because it does have an incredible, really well designed layout. So Taiga will be going through to the top 5. Onto the B&M inverts. B&M inverts are B&Ms, and they are inverts. They are great coasters, but they are not elite coasters, so I'm getting rid of them. Now, onto RMCs. Now, RMCs being so good, it is hard to choose between them. Zadra and Untamed are both insane coasters with so much airtime. I do think it's easiest to get rid of Wildfire because it's the only one on there that does lose its pace towards the end and isn't just pure insanity the whole way through. Out of Zadra and Untamed, I made a whole video about this a while ago. It was a bit cringe, but I think I made some good points in it. Basically, I decided that Zadra was the best. I'm going to go with that. It's a lot bigger, it is shorter, but I think it is still overall better. Now on to the Mac multi-launches. Helix wins. Like, if you think Icon's better than Helix, then you're deluded. And then we have other. Now, this is actually interesting how this has worked out. We have Expedition GeForce and Shambhala, which apparently never opened because there isn't a date. But I think this is interesting because one of them is about having loads of sustained ejector airtime, and one of them is about having loads of sustained floater airtime. What do I think? They both have loads and loads of the type of airtime they do well. Because I like ejector airtime, I'm going with Expedition GeForce. Before I move on, because this video has been very serious, and now I'm not good at making serious videos, here's that meme I made a week or two ago. Like, just it's not funny. Don't laugh at it. Let's move on. Oh, God, what am I doing? Karnan, Taiga, Zadra, Helix, Expedition GeForce. These coasters should be the best in their country and the best of their model in Europe, according to me. And they are all very good, and they are all quite different. These aren't necessarily top 5 coasters in Europe, but this is supposed to give me a variety of coasters which are all the best of their type. Taiga and Helix are quite similar. They're both multi-launch coasters, but I think this is the easiest way to get rid of one of them, and getting rid of Helix. For the reasons Taiga's won all the other battles, it's also winning over Helix, because it is a lot better. Now these last 4 are really hard to decide with. I'm going to get rid of 2 at once. I think Expedition GeForce, as good as it is, has had its time. It's not the best coaster in Europe anymore. It might be some people's. If you love just pure ejector airtime with loads of room, Expedition GeForce is amazing, but I think as the best coaster in Europe, it's had its time. And I'm also going to get rid of Karnan. My reason for this is hard to explain because it is such a good ride, but I think it is pacing. Although Karnan does have really good pacing, Taiga and Zadra take that to another level where they're just relentless all the way through. So I'm getting rid of those 2. Now, Taiga and Zadra. What does Taiga had? As I've said many times, it has a really good blend of everything. It's got lots of ejector, it's got transitions to keep the pace up. When the intensity goes, you get a brief few seconds of hang time. But honestly, I can't say any more than I've said already. It's everything about it all works together to make one amazing coaster. Zadra is more about airtime. It's less about airtime than other RMCs, but it's more about airtime than Taiga, and it has better airtime. It has ridiculously strong ejector. Again, it has floater like Taiga in a huge 0G stall. It's probably the most intense RMC in terms of positives, but with Zadra, it's got a few moments of Yonkeretta. Oh God, it's cringe. Zadra does the main thing it does better than Taiga. Does that mean it's better than Taiga? Well, you're about to find out. They both opened last year, they're both incredible, but I'm choosing Zadra. It is because what it does do, it does better than Taiga. Although Taiga has more variation, for the duration of Zadra, it is pure insanity. And that is why, in my opinion, it does only just beat Taiga, and it is our winner. Thank you for sticking through this long, cringe pretentious, stupid video. Like, you can now get on with your day and stop watching a sad nerd on YouTube with a spreadsheet who is speaking for a sock because they think it's a good pop filter. Thank you. Bye.